Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to share with you how to, or I'm going to orient you towards replacing the stoplight bulb, the third stoplight bulb in a Cube. I found out earlier today that mine's not working, and so I stopped off and I bought a nylon, and I'm doing this quickly because I have a delivery coming up. I deliver pizzas. I went ahead and bought a nylon trim panel remover. And I've already popped this trim panel off from up here. Let's make sure that that's in the... Yes. I'm going to turn the camera just a tad. There we go. Alright, so this pan... You can see I've already pulled the bulb out. And I've already bought a replacement bulb. I'm going to grab that bulb right now. It's a 921, at least in my year. In my Cube, it was, which is a 2009. The bulb which I'm putting back in and replacing was a 921. Ooh, I forgot my... I'll be right back. Alright, I had forgotten my bulb grease. So now I'm just going to put a little bit of bulb grease into the connector. Maybe a dab on the contacts here too. Now the bulb grease does not conduct electricity, but it also doesn't form a barrier or an insulation. It doesn't insulate. What it does is it keeps debris out of the connection. So what I'm going to do here is I'm simply going to push the bulb grease coated bulb contacts in. And I'm going to insert this assembly back into the, it'll only go one way. See, there's little tabs. See if I can focus in on those tabs. I gotta get this done quickly. And let's go closer. Seem to be out of focus. There we go. Okay, so there's little tabs here and here that are going to go into two little cutaways, and then we're going to twist clockwise to lock it into place. It's a fairly gentle twist clockwise. So now that's locked firmly into place, and I will go ahead and back off a little bit. Okay. Then we've got this piece of trim. These little plastic tabs, in my case they're blue. They might not always be blue, but in my case they are. Those little plastic tabs are simply going to go into these little holes here, and that'll lock it into place. Now, the little blue plastic tabs can slide right out of where they're at. They simply get, they simply catch on that little, what do you call it, tab. They lock into place, and then you can simply align your holes upside down. You can simply align your holes, and I'm going to push from the center outwards, but I don't think it really matters. But in general, when you're assembling something, for the most part, you go from the center, and then you work your way outwards. And that's because of tolerancing. But I'm not going to go through the concept of tolerancing right now. So now we're in place, and let me show you how this little tool works before I get going. So you've got this little cutout here, and you basically, this will give me more room to work my way up in there. Okay, so now, a main point I wanted to make is I'm doing this project in the summertime, and it's nice and hot out. It's about 75 to 80 degrees right now. So what I'm doing now is I'm showing how you pry that off. And the reason I'm mentioning that it's summertime is plastic becomes more brittle. I'm just going to go ahead and put it back on now so I can get going. Plastic becomes more brittle in winter or when it's cold. So since plastic becomes more brittle when it's cold, the best time to subject plastic to extremes, in other words, you're basically forcing the plastic out, so you're putting it into an extreme position of tightness before it can come out. It's best to have that plastic warm or soft relative to, if this was wintertime and that plastic was much colder, it would be more brittle rather than extremely pliable. So you could end up with broken parts in the wintertime. And it's not necessarily the little tab that would break, because that little tab, before it snaps, before it breaks, would subject the trim unit to greater tension also. I gotta get going. Bye.